Blessed love, everyone. Give thanks and praise to the Most High, Jah Rastafari Selassie the First, the King of Kings, the Lord and Lord, conquering lion from the tribe of Judah. I give thanks that way because if it wasn't for His Imperial Majesty, I wouldn't be here. I'm going to give thanks to Ross Jones and Charles Phillips, two of my patrons who make it available for JahPen Jump Plus to even exist, man. I want to thank you guys a lot, man. Everybody else, man, you know what it is, man. You know what it is. Ross, love you guys. Talk it up a little bit before we get into it. I got my indication letting me know we on. I'm gonna let my students know we on. All right. This is I really got to start paying attention to which episode this is. This is plus 3. This is plus episode 3. But as far as JahPenTV is concerned, literally this is episode 10. So that's why I put up there that this is episode 10. We're gonna do some detail, some shapes in detail. I'm gonna show you how to take shapes in detail to turn it into an image. This is what we did the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks we did shapes first, and then we did detail. We did real simple shapes and we made an image, and then I kind of showed you how you take detail and you make an image. Now I'm gonna show you how you take the two and fuse it together. This is mostly how Ross conjure up the creatures and stuff like that I develop and whatnot. But yes, I. That's where we're going with that as of right now. I made a little error. Forget what week that was. I think it was actually it was the first episode. Ross got real riled up, and I started playing music during the episode, and then Facebook was not Facebook. YouTube's like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't play music that don't belong now. Like, wow, okay. But I don't know how it work out, but the video it's still in the Patreon folder on YouTube, so the patrons can still go in there and it's still there. So, there's no dread there. We gonna get into some stuff. All right. The glove, right? Charles might be unconscious because he work at night. Ross, I know for a fact, is probably watching right now, or he be getting ready to watch it after it's done being recorded. But to tell you something you don't know, if you have subscribed to my YouTube, and you get the notifications and whatnot, when new videos pop up, you actually get to see this video live, free. Once it's recorded, it goes into that privatized, it's a bumbleclot word, but privatized folder specifically for the patrons, because they're the ones that make sure I can produce this alongside with the Most High blessing. So that's how we gonna do it. Alright, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off like this. Make sure the spliff lit. I will be adding one technique into this that may or may not be fully explained, but you will get the gist of it in a moment. It's where A lot of illustrators like to use this icon right here, the airbrush, and they like to fill in gaps so they know where their detail or their light or their contrast is going to be. Probably the next episode will be about light and contrast, stuff like that, because that is very essential. It'll take your 2D image into a 3D image. You'll start adding more dimensions to it with light and dark and stuff. But for right now, we're going to burn them out with this right here. Okay, so we got first layer, and I definitely got the wrong color. Let me turn this into tablet mode real quick. Make sure I got the backup off me coffee. And you know, if you're not on the Patreon page, you should be on the Patreon page. If you're trying to learn new techniques, or some techniques in illustration, I mean, it's only $5. I know I say only, like, you know, $5 is not a lot of money. You could do a couple of things with $5, but not a lot of things. I can buy, what do you say? I can buy a cup of coffee with $5. You get 4 videos. After 12 months, basically a year, you get a commission sketch cover for mine. But let's get into the logistics. All right, so what we're getting ready to do is, if you in the JahPen jump room, you've seen the image that I shared that will be on the Patreon. It is what you would call a lesser one. That's what I named it. It's a lesser one. It's an abomination. It is a monster, if that's what you want to call it. And that's what we'll be illustrating today. We'll just be illustrating the head. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is, okay, make sure we good there. Trying to figure out why you moving around. You're not moving around. Okay. So this guy's head is very weird. Oh, that's the blend tool. No wonder I'm having some difficulties. Alright, so airbrush tool, we gotta make this guy a little bit bigger. This is just how I'm gonna start drawing off, but this is a part of the detail. So this guy's head is kind of almost like a helmet. To protect the 3 eyes that's inside. You really can't see it too well, but we're going to do the side view because I'm going to explain to you about the shapes and detail. Right now, you got shapes going on, so you can see what this guy's head look like. I'm actually gonna have to move this guy around a little bit because he's so big. All right. This guy I want to act up a little bit. completely understand if you don't know what's going on right now. It's literally supposed to be that way. It's just the head of the thing right now, so you're not really supposed to completely have an idea of what's going on. But this is pretty much adding light and dark. Alright, so we got this layer here. We make another layer. We're gonna turn this guy down a little bit. And then we get into this pencil. Now, this is when you start taking the shapes and adding detail to kind of explain what's going on. Like I was saying, this thing kind of has a helmet kind of shape to it to protect it. The 3 eyes that it has in here from harm. I'm gonna do a couple of computerized techniques too that come in good handy if you draw digital wise. But I might actually be able to fit what I want in this image. Blessed by Rastafari. Because it's supposed to be like an opening right here. All this right here is supposed to be like an opening. Just to get to those eyes I was telling you about, but we'll get on that later. Make this guy a little bit bigger. It's probably a 25 or something. Actually, what is it? It's a 77. We're gonna make this 100 because we are drawing on a pretty big background. All right, 100 is fine. I can do what I want now. Got the wrong eraser though. Big boy? Yeah, big boy. Alright. Let's do this. Whoa, Rise Glide. Rise Glide. Nah, make no sense. Drawing on the wrong layer again. But that's okay. Got more room to make this opening now. Knows the reason why this stuff was looking like that, man. Got one in there. See how we're using the shapes to dictate the detail. When you add the detail, like in the second video, you start to see what's going on. Most of my creatures are very peculiar. This one's no different. This creature lacks extreme insight. So what happens is it tends to have eyes where it's not normal to have eyes, and it tends to have eyes in places where most things don't have eyes. Yeah, I brushed that out because I just wanted that there. It's not staying there though. It's nowhere near xenomorph, so it can't really manipulate shape and form. I'm gonna get rid of this the prehistoric way. It's annoying. Get out of here. It's just big. Real big. Yeah, it's just real big. Real big. And like I said, you just drawing the head right now because the guy is huge. Well, the head and the collarbone part. There's a way I got this abomination. Its shoulder is connected to his arm. The arm is connected to the leg is connected to the knee, and so forth and so on. So when you see this thing walk, you're like, wait, man, wait. Yeah, this thing can walk pretty fast. Running would probably make this thing tear up the town, tear up the terraform, tear up the land if it ran the way it's proportioned, the way it's constructed. But yeah, I wanted it to be able to travel extremely fast. So when I designed it, it physically looked like this thing could go real fast, but it looked like if it moved, it would destroy whatever it was walking on. Crazy. That was the traditional sketch. Gave me that, that vibe like that. All right. Now this is when you start. Oh, wait. I gotta close this up. Almost forgot. That part is over there. I nearly didn't put. There's not a lot on the head. It's mostly on these guys here, but we'll take care of that later. I want to get this part out so we can go into the detailed part. Right? Alright. Boom. Save real quick. Ross gonna definitely relight this spliff. Come on, mechanical arm. Cut it out. Had to get that mechanical arm flex. Bryce got hair everywhere, man. I'm packaging up somebody comic books. The tape. I'm looking. I said, man, I got hair on your tape. Like, wow. Hmm. Mm. Detail. Make sure every single detail you put down in the beginning of the process gets implemented when you in full detail mode, because that was the reason why you put those lines down first. You can always come back again. And fix it and edit it to the way you want. And like how I was doing with the spray can, you can do that with a pencil too. It depends on the kind of lead that you're using. You know, you could lay down some soft, like if it's a soft lead, you know, you can smudge it with your finger or a piece of tissue or something like that. You could smudge it a little bit and it give you that depth that you want. I do it a lot on my traditional work. I use graphite and charcoal and stuff like that. That smudges pretty well the way you want, or the way I like it, to get the amount of detail or gradation that I want. You know, it's all layering. All layering. See, I can do that now because I'm in detail mode. Plus, this side of the thing face is different than the other side, because you're literally looking at the interior right here. It's when we start playing with light, when you put detail lines in certain spots. Talk you up a little bit. I was working on a commission for a cover, and it's like a store cover, you know, like the book belonged to, you know, somebody else, and the guy's in some affiliation with a group or whatever the case may be, and the group is paying or commissioning a cover, you know, of their book, you know, so they could sell it and give the proceeds to, I forgot what it is, some kind of charity. I think a charity for depression or something like that. So, you know, I started working on it. And I really didn't talk to the creator a whole lot, except to the fact of when I was like, you know, what's this gonna be about? He said, to be honest, it's his book, but he not really dreading about what's gonna be on the cover, because he not paying for it. Somebody else paying for it. So I was like, yeah, man, you know, still send me some stuff about what the book about or whatever. The guy said the book getting colored right now, Brain Clyde, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm all right, man. I go to the guy that's paying to do do the book. Do the cover, right? And the guy tell me what to do, so I start working on it. Meanwhile, later on, towards the commission getting done, the guy want to inquire about the cover, how the cover coming, blah blah, you know. And he like, why you ain't go talk to the guy? That's what the guy that paid for it. He said, why you ain't talk to the guy that's doing it? Why you know? Make a long story short, the guy don't like the cover because the character on the cover is not in the book. So I'm like, wow, man. So he commissioned another cover. So, give thanks. It's going to get done either way. But what ended up happening was, end up commissioning 2 covers. You got to communicate. You got to communicate, with people, man. That's a bonus lesson. If you're doing commission for somebody or you're working with somebody, that's why sometimes it's a blessing to be able to do the writing, the penciling, the inking, and the coloring all on your own, because you don't have to deal with that sometimes. Sometimes people have communication problems. They good illustrator, good writer, or whatever the case may be, but they talking, it ain't sparking. They're communicating is debating or suffocating. They can't do that stuff, so, yeah, man. And I asked some Raj Clyde with PayPal. PayPal want to hold money and stuff and argue and fight through the night. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it the old way. 'Cause I'm not going to do all that. But you got to be well-rounded, man, when you're doing this stuff. You got to be able to not necessarily be a people person. You have to be able to, I guess, make the right decision. I think that's at the end of the day, man. You gotta be able to make the right decision, man. It's more than just putting pencil to paper, man. It really is. Way more. But this eye I put over here is kinda awkward. This big one that I got right here. When I first did the illustration traditional, that eye, I didn't put the eye there. I'm actually doing something right now. The back of the head is very weird. It's kind of, it's like a mass. It's like a mass of shapes and forms. It moves around and whatnot. If you're into H.P. Lovecraft and you know what a Sagoth is or something like that, then you'll understand what I'm saying. But it's a animated object. It's always moving around. It's the part of the brain of the abomination. But to be honest, it's where it actually has a bunch of eyes that's just covered up, that suspended in darkness. So it's able to see in the darkness, and the eyes on the outside can see in the light. And me, I roll up spliff. Yes, I. I'm gonna have to figure out how to translate, cause Ross not speak English, man. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to translate this. I'm trying to into English or whatever you call it. But if you did want to say it in English, it would be Church of the Ultimate Void. That's what this creature or abomination would be called. A church is actually a body structure that houses and protects individuals. In this case, I call them Cenobites. The Cenobites are these eyes. Them being together in this church enables them to do a bunch of things that, well, other things couldn't do. But this is a lesser being. That being proven because it needs to have multiple eyes, multiple Cenobites, in order to do what it do, you know? Some Sleeping Giants 101 right there for you. So basically, the more eyes it has, the more unlikely we are to defeat it, depending on what it know. You know, this thing got lesser. This thing has no eyes. Oh wow, man, you in trouble. You in trouble. Or one eye, you in trouble. Nine times out of ten, that Cenobite, it's a giant. You only need one eye. It's a giant, and the ordeal is that man, let me stop with the spoiler alert. Good stuff. So that's some Sleeping Giants trivia for you, man. I'm actually happy that the book didn't come out when I wanted it to come out. That was a rush date. I've learned so much since then that, you know, it's gonna be insane, man. And I've written so much since then too, as you can see. So, but all right. The only other thing I want to implement, I could probably do that with this here. What a guy at. Got that light coming from in there. The guy got 3 lights in there you gotta worry about, man. Well, me, I'm gonna do something too where I can't wait to do that. I might do that on the next one where this opens up and you get to see what's inside. I don't think you want to see what's inside. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. But if you do want to see this guy, I'm sketching this guy walking through a town, trees and little cabins and stuff, like a forest, a park, like village kind of place and whatnot. Put that on Patreon. You could check that out. Finna free up from a little bit of Facebook. As Facebook be kind of, Clyde up. And give thanks. King 7 born day was Tuesday. Tuesday was weird with the comic books, man. Yo, that was straight weird. Nobody had their books. Something happened with the mail or something like that. But you get what I'm saying about detail, shape, making an image. You saw me use two tools. Use a pencil, use a little bit of spray paint, which I told you what you can do with that with the pencil. All we did was shapes, detail. Now you see this thing, man. You probably have to worry about it. What the thing gonna do? Yeah, if you on YouTube looking at this, you don't know in totality how big this thing really is. It's huge. It's real huge. Came out sick, eh? Yeah. I hope you guys get where I'm going at. Probably work on this guy on regular TV. All right, guys. It's really 4:15. Man, how long was this feed? I really wasn't trying to be up here that long. Like 30, 45 minutes. I guess I'm not going to find out. Man, give thanks and praise to life giver Emmanuel I Selassie Jah Rastafari I Naya Bingi I Melchizedek Rakub Tafari. Give thanks and praise Selassie for more days. Bless your love, man.